We bought this house completely burned out for $330,000. It was not an easy project, but it turned out to be a perfect burn method. We invested roughly $250,000, so we were all in at $580,000. This house is valued at $1.2 million now. Hey guys, we're here at University City. There's U Sciences, UPenn, Drexel University. We bought this house completely burned out for $330,000. It was not an easy project, but it turned out to be a perfect burn method. We invested roughly $250,000, so we were all in at $580,000. This house is valued at $1.2 million now. We have a Swift Lane access. It recognizes your face. You can put a PIN code, see my name, boom. Doors unlocks, mag locks. We have the lock box. This is a mixed use, commercial at the bottom, residential on top. Fire alarm panel. It took us roughly 2 years from the time we purchased it, because it took us to get variants, renovations, rent the entire place out. It took us a while. Once we renovated the place, before renovating fully, I always think of a creative way how we can save money for the tenants and for us. So right here, I'm gonna give you guys one of the perks I do in every single multi-unit residential commercial. I install a fire system. This is full network. It goes into every single unit. Camera system for outside. Internet provider, 1 gigabyte. So people don't have to drill through the walls. You're gonna have rat, incest, all kinds of issues. People running like tenants move out. They go from one tenant, went from Verizon then to Comcast. You see all those holes. You don't need to do that, especially college students. When they hear free internet, that's like, they don't have to sign on the leases on the name, none of that. It's perfect. The house is in amazing condition because of that. Trust me, it's worth every penny. We pay roughly $100 every single point in the building, get internet connections. And some tenants like, oh, I don't want to be on your network. Guess what? You can put in another router, create your own network with your own protection password. So this is all the custom railings. It was done all on site. Fire hydrant, you'll notice that I put it on every single floor. This is for safety. Pull it out, and just in case of fire, boom. Even though this entire place is fire rated, double sheetrock on every single wall. Another thing is like, we just put it like 2 means second floor and the first 2, and then the second is the unit. So that's unit 2 on the second floor. So this one you see unit 201, second floor unit 1. Also, all the locks are self-automatically locks in. As you can see, I have a list of PIN codes. I go through the list. Boom, and I'm in. It's that easy. Quartz countertop with waterfall. Garbage disposal is a must. Every single unit with a garbage disposal. Right here, a little button right here. You're gonna spend less money fixing the plumbing issues if you install that. We tried to go with black style appliances. People love that, black touches. Frigid air. For the money, it's one of the best. And the only way we learned that is through trial and error. Same thing with washer and dryer. You want to go with Whirlpool. They break the least amount. Here, everything is pre-wired. Like I said, you can install a TV, internet provider. You plug it in, you create your own network, and boom. Electrical panel. If you can, install it in every single unit. Because when the breaker trips, they're not gonna call you, be like, oh, calling the maintenance, my guy has to come out to install it. Inside your unit, that's the best way of doing it. And to make this pretty, you just put a painting. That's it. My favorite part is Daikin system. Daikin system is Japanese HVAC system, central air. It looks like a cheap thermostat, but it's actually one of the most efficient. This will save you, your bill, electric bill will be cut in half. I think SIR is 21 on this one. The system itself is actually on top of the bathrooms. As you can see, the bathroom ceilings is not as tall, but it's still tall enough. Everything's custom made, showers custom made. People love that. You spend a little extra on that, little touches, people love that. Also the bathroom, you don't have to go for an expensive bathroom, but you want to go as a one piece. If you notice, this bathroom is made out of one piece, not 2 pieces. So if it's made out of 2 pieces, usually most of them, they'll leak. For your personal home, you might keep it one piece. But all the bathrooms, we always want to go with one piece like that. So this is the bedroom, nice closets. Windows is Pella, black from inside and out. And then there's a little leverage like this, moves up, opens the window. Goes down, closes the window. And then you can just lock it. Boom, done. It's the closet, pretty nice closet. The entire space is LED lit, spotlights. It's the cheapest upgrade you can do. This is it. I mean, it looks beautiful. Same thing with blinds. This is cheap. Also, we bought it from Lowe's. You just take your hand, boom, and you put it down. So the challenges are, we do have a little bit of challenge. You see the trash cans over here? So there's no way to take out the trash to the front because it's so narrow. So we take it through the back. I hire a guy, I pay him $100 a month, and he just takes all those trash cans, puts them in the front. So he actually works at the pizza place, so he just does our stuff. So you always want to be able to find creative ways, because if you're going to call a company, professional company, to do that, it's going to cost you $500 a month. Be creative. I mean, that's the only challenge I can think of right now. So let's go in the basement. I'll show you guys washer and dryer utility room. So this basement is a finished basement, and you can count this towards the square footage of the building because you have an egress window. Once you install this, and there's a way for them to go out, you can claim this as square footage. Also fire hydrant. I put a common bathroom for people to use. So this is actually a good example of the bathroom not to use. Remember I was talking about one piece? Guess what? My guy installed a two-piece. So I'm gonna be giving them a call. This is the stuff, look, over time, it might not leak right now, but over time, it'll start leaking depending on how much use there is. Do not install this at properties, especially heavy use properties. This is washer and dryer. This is what we use. Remember I was telling you about Whirlpool? This is a great company. The only company that's better than this is Speed Queen, but Speed Queen is very expensive. The difference between commercial, even though it looks ugly, commercial washer and dryer, they don't go bad. You can go run it over and over and over and over. They never overheat, there's no issues. It's like a workhorse. Because if you buy the LG machines, the regular, not the commercial, the regular home, the pretty ones, they will break. So this is coin operator, and then guess what? We use ShinePay for credit card processing. You scan it, you download the app, you scan it, boom, you pay, because people are having a hard time getting quotas now. We made it cheap because we're not trying to make money of the tenants here. We just want to break even on the machine. We're not making money on this. Some of the buildings we have it more expensive because we are making money on that. This is the utility room. This is my favorite part. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Boom. So this is a standard central air. We use Goodman because it's fairly cheap. This supplies all the common area in the building. This is hot water tanks. Every property has, except the commercial space, all the residentials. Gas meters. All of them are new as well. It's coming from the city. This is all the meters. So that's one of the things. It's like, all right, what's the point of having a disconnect switch? Somebody might ask.
What is?
No. This is how people do it. The old way of doing it, the wrong way of doing it, the cheap way of doing it. What people do from this meter, they would put electrical boxes, right? With all the breakers and all those little wires that go up to upstairs, third floor, second floor. That's too long of a run. Instead of running that, I'm running a thick cable, which is 100 amps. I'm running it all the way to the unit. And then because there's a distance more than 10 feet from the meter itself to the electrical panel, more than 10 feet, you gotta put a disconnect switch. That's electrical law. There's people that write NEC, they write the rules and regulations. As an electrical engineer, I would read this book. And I just happen to know. I would design buildings like this. I worked as an engineer for 12 years. I would design buildings like that, specifically electrical with the transformers and stuff. We would put elevators. This building doesn't have an elevator. If it does, you put a transformer. So it's pretty neat. That's a bus bar. So a huge cable comes in into the bus bar and splits up to all of them. So that's a fire alarm system. That's a huge water line comes in case of fire. It automatically gets turned on. So it's always on, and then you can pull it up to turn it off. So if it senses any fire, the water comes from the city. It's gonna come from straight from the city and sprinkle. The old way of doing it is you put a huge tank of water. It'll be a massive tank, and then you just in case of fire, it'll just sprinkle your way. But then what if the tank runs out of water? Because the city's not running out of water. It has plenty of water. This is gas heaters, are a lot more efficient than electric as far as the cost, probably at least 40% more efficient. So if you have a chance to put gas, hot water tanks, put gas hot water tanks. But the only issue is the smell of carbon monoxide in the basement. There's a way to reduce that by buying special units. I'll leave it in the descriptions which ones to buy. You see the pipe is small and it goes directly outside. We did fire installation, and actually you can see right here, every 12 feet, we put this fire installation. When the fire gets, this prevents us from going further, so it slows it down. So that's caulking, so no air can get to. You can see it because it's exposed, but this is not finished, so you don't have to do it. So anyway, it's finished, it's literally air sealed with the foam, fire foam insulation. So this is not your typical insulation, that's fire insulation. So everything is teared apart. There's nothing that's old inside the building.
It was not insulated, I guess.
Yeah, so we tore it down completely. Floor, subfloor, framing, fire insulation. Then we have sound insulation. There's a separate sound insulation between floors because we don't want tenants calling us, oh, the guy's upstairs is too loud. In between the units, it's double sheetrock from every side. So instead of putting one, we're putting two, and then another unit, 2 and 2. So it's super soundproof, fireproof installations because every sheetrock adds 15 minutes of fire resistance. So for the fire to get to, it takes 15 minutes longer. So whenever you put double and double from each side, so that's a 1 hour of protection from fire. So even if there's fire, it's still gonna get to the other side. It's just gonna take longer. So if you have a fire in one unit, technically, the other unit have up to 2 hours of fire.
What about energy efficiency? Did you insulate it for the winter?
Yes, winter insulation comes from the exterior walls. That's similar to sound insulation, but they're slightly different. So that's an exterior wall, and we put, I believe it's 18 inches insulation. So that's slightly different, yeah. That's a sump pump. If the water gets in the basement, it pumps it out all of that to the city. And you see it's air sealed insulation. I can't show it to you. So everything is rented except one unit, where one unit left. That's the unit that I just showed you. Everything else is rented. Usually we rented all of the units before we finish construction. Because anything that's new, fully renovated, it's not like I would personally rent it to my kid or even to myself. The new one, not because it looks pretty, is because of the fire resistance. There's so much security in this building. The cameras in the front, cameras outside, insulation done. Your electric bills is like, some of the tenants are paying $30 a month for electric bill because how efficient the units are. You can see that this is all from the hot water tanks. And right above you, there's a camera. So all the tenants, they get access to the camera with motion sensors, carbon monoxide from gas HVAC. So gas HVAC units, they have carbon monoxide. Tubes are coming out, it has to go outside. So you don't want it to be inside the units. It's not good, it's just not healthy. And then all the door locks the same way, see it's locked. So you saw in the basement, the HVAC unit sitting there, that's the AC unit it's tied to. The rest of all the AC units is actually on the roof, so you have to climb on the roof in order to get that. We did that to save space. And there's another camera right here for people to use just in case. And this is it. People can barbecue here. It's a nice area, very exclusive, private. The old building that got burned out was actually up to here. All of this, we built it as an addition. We had to ask the city, through the variance process, to ask them to allow us to build this. So we did the foundation here, concrete, and we put this up. We went from 2,600 square feet building because we finished the basement and we did an addition. We're at 4,200 square feet. Look, speaking of structural issue, I don't think that's safe. This violates so many codes and compliance. I'm just gonna wait for that to fall off so I can buy that building.